We're just going to have a little bit of a play today. I have some new granulating watercolors from Ganzi Tombai, and I have some 80's cat couples, which is an ephemera book off of Amazon. And I just thought these two would be so much fun. So let's make something. I really wanted to play with these. I love granulating watercolors, and so yeah, just had to play with them. All right, I'm going to wet these, and I know when they're dry, they kind of all look the same, but they are not. And these are to be used unlike other watercolors. So I have these little dishes, and you may notice that one of the pans is empty. That's by design. I can already tell how reactive these are. Look, when I put the water in, I don't know if y'all can see it yet, but these are very reactive. So I have these little dishes here, and we need to get the paint going before we use it. Although I am tempted to use some of it outside of the pan directly, you know, from the pan. Let's see. Looking for brushes that have water in them. Okay. I'm going to kind of line these up here. And I think I poured just enough water in here that I'm mixing it up. And then I'm just going to pour it in. It'll be easier if I get the empty pan out. I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm making a big old mess already. Okay. So we'll do that with that one. Might be a little much. Just want to make sure I get enough to really get it activated. I'm going to clean off my brush, rearrange these. This is the last one. That's called Aurora Violet. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, here is this one. This one is blue. So basically we have violet and blue so far. This one is going to be orange. I might need more of the blue. Okay. This one is pink. And you're really going to see these colors when we start swirling them in their little pots. Just cleaning off my brush a bit between each one. This is red. These are brand new. I got them on Amazon and was so excited. This is my favorite watercolor brand, and when they came out with granulating colors, I just had to grab them. Let me get a little more of that blue one. This one right here. I'm mixing it pretty well so that the watercolor that I pour out of this pan has plenty of pigment in it. There we go. So the idea here is that you have plenty of water, plenty of pigment, and you're going to do this swirling motion. See how that's breaking up now? We've got pink and this purple. So this is the violet. And you just kind of do this swirling motion here and break apart the pigments. This is why they gave you an empty pan. Okay, so that's the violet, and I just need to keep these in order here since they're not labeled. Okay, this is the blue, and when I swirl it around, do you see the blue breaking apart there? Separating. See it come up on the glass? I actually got these little sauce dishes when I got the paints, knowing that I needed something like this to activate them. Look at the green. This one's not green though. I mean, there's green in it. Our eyes see green, but this one's called orange. Isn't that neat? Okay. This is pink. Let's swirl it around here. But yeah, when I got the little sauce dishes, I knew that we needed to break these up, to separate them like this. And I wanted white ones so I could really see the paint. And then this is red. It also has a bit of blue or green in it. Definitely just really neat watercolors. So let's play with them a little bit and see what they look like on paper. I have some scraps of watercolor paper over here off to the side from a project that I was working on, which is going to be perfect. I kind of just want to swatch these out. This scrap looks like a perfect scrap for swatching with the palette, and that way I can keep this watercolor with its palette, or the swatch with the palette. I'll measure it for you guys, just so you know what size it is. It is 2.5 by 7.25. So that's the size. All right, let's get some swatching going here. We'll just start here. Now, the magic that takes place with these is when it dries on its own. So this isn't one that you'll want to force to dry. You'll want to let it dry on its own and get plenty of water so your colors can separate. This is the orange that also looks green. Okay, I'm going to go back over here and add just a little bit more on top. We want it wet enough that we can get a good amount of granulation, especially for my swatch. If you're working on a painting or something, it may not be as necessary, and you're going to get granulation regardless, whether it's super pigmented and wet or not. Love these colors. They are so fabulous. So we're going to put this off to the side, let it dry. I'll also I'll go ahead and number it real quick, even though I don't think it'll be hard to discern. Okay, this is number 771, 772, I hope these are a hit and that they keep producing more colors. All of these have this kind kind of oxidation and this warmth. I do like the variety in this palette. We've got some warm colors and a little bit of cool here. But man, are they gorgeous. Look at how that is granulating right there. So beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to put that to the side, let it work its magic, and we are going to work on some backgrounds for the cats. Let's do that. I am going to use my Canson XL paper. I like this paper for so many reasons, but it has this texture that I think, you know, it has the watercolor paper texture that I think will go really well with these. I'm going to grab a stencil real quick. Let's see. I didn't have one handy, but I mean, I thought I had one handy. There it is. Let's use this one. This is a new Dina Wakley, and it is called Dash Columns. This will be fun. I really want to just play. I may not be able to keep these images really defined because I'm using watercolor, but that's okay. So I'm going back again, and I'm just gonna run my watercolor through the stencil. I can't get everything in frame. Let me move up my cute little ramekins now. Y'all have seen the color, and now you can see it at the top of the screen, but I want you to be able to see more of the project that I'm working on. Okay. You may not see the very bottom, but that's okay. So I'm just going to take these colors and kind of make a rainbow background here. Not in rainbow color, but just alternating the colors. Okay. And then this would be this color. I hope you guys are having a really good day. I love watercolor. I think it's my favorite medium to work with. It's definitely my favorite painting medium or coloring medium. I color images with it. I make backgrounds with it. I've just always loved it. Now, obviously, I'm taking a more detailed approach here, so this will take me a little bit to get this whole paper covered by alternating the colors, but hopefully it'll be worth it. And it's just another way kind of swatching these out and seeing what they look like. I'm trying not to grab any of that wet paint from each of the columns when I'm working on these. I'm also not worried about the precision of the images. I'm just wanting an interesting background with these colors. I think they're going to go so good with those 80s cats. I can't wait to see them together. Okay, now I need to go back to this color, the first one. Oh, I gotta show you the dish. The dish is getting kind of, this color is getting low. So I want you to see this dish and all the colors that it has in it. Now that it's getting a little bit lower, you can tell it's purple, blue, pink. It's everything. It's so beautiful. I'm gonna use the rest of that color. And that first column that I did is pretty dry. So I'm gonna go back in and just dab in a little more of that color and let it work its magic. This one's a little bit dry. I'm gonna do the same thing. I had already made that one pretty juicy, so I've got some definite variations going on there. Now, same thing here. Might be able to soak a little bit off the edges here. And same thing here. I'm just going to pull off. There's a lot of color on the stencil itself, and I'm just going to pull that off, drag it off of the stencil and onto the project. Oh, this has got some fabulous pink going on. Okay, oh my gosh. I think my favorite color is seriously the orange color. Wait till you'll see what that is doing with the green and the orange. It's amazing. Okay, then let's pull the color off of here and back onto its column. This is kind of the perfect stencil for this bit of experimentation. And like magic. Okay, I'm just gonna lay this over here and do it again. I ran out of my first colors, so I'm just going to not worry about it. I'm gonna move on to the second one. It's fine. I'm about to run out of that one too. We're just gonna use up all the color in these little dishes. These cards are going to be cut apart, obviously, so I don't need to worry about the pattern not repeating perfectly or anything like that. We're just going to use up these colors. Oh, this color right here is amazing. Got a lot of this one. Now I didn't clean off my stencil, so we may have, this isn't going to be as true to the palette as this one. Get that bright pink one in there. Violet is, again, this one. And probably what I'm going to do as I start to run out of these colors, getting towards the end here, I'm just going to drag and clean my stencil off towards this edge. So who knows what it will look like at that point. This is definitely the experimental side of things. All out of the green. So you can tell a little bit of paint goes a long way. That's the Kuretake watercolors are so creamy, so easy to activate, and just beautiful. All of their colors, not just the granulating ones, but I have a couple of their palettes, one larger one and then a few small ones like this, and I just love them. Okay, my dishes are now cleaned out. I'm going to take, let's see, if I take this cloth, it's going to absorb. So instead, I'm going to use like this gift card, and I'm going to try to drag some paint over. I don't know if there's enough, and it is going to definitely mess up the behind the scenes, the stencil. And there's not really that much to drag across here. So this edge, we'll just fill in with whatever's left on my brush. I think there's enough pigment left on my brush. Let's see what we get this time. Very cool. Love it. Okay. So this portion, the watercolor play, is done. Now, while this is drying, we will fussy cut out some cats. But let's take a minute to just really take in all of that color. Look at that. I love the brightness of this palette. It's definitely like in my wheelhouse of color. I love jewel tone colors and bright colors. So that's definitely my jam. Let's look at these empty little jars. They're so colorful too. I'll just be able to rinse these out and start clean each time, which is really nice. So those are all done. Used those up. I can get those off of the table and move on. I will leave a link to these watercolors and the little mixing palettes. It's an Amazon link down below. And so you can find them if you're interested. Okay. I'll just take her. I feel this way about this book 100%. This book is by, yes, Modernista Print Shop. And it's the 80s cat couples. There is the QR code to visit the Modernista shop, print shop. Oh my goodness. Absolutely have to play with this one. Let's do at least 4 because I have enough watercolor paper for 4. I think it's great, like this is, I'm gonna have to fussy cut her out because we have a great stenciled background and this is just on black, but I like that it is, because sometimes you might want to leave it like that. She has all the color that's needed, so I'm just going to fussy cut her. They don't have the same vibe. Oh, but he does. Come here, Tabby. Mr. Tabby. Oh gosh, you guys. This book. It's magical. I wish there was one of dogs too. But hello. Oh my gosh. Okay. I need some more cool cats. I mean, they're all cool. Oh yes, we'll be taking her. I love that the back is just like this tea dye and every single back page is the same. You never question which side you're cutting out. I love that. We came for the cats. That's all we want. Okay, let's get another mister. I mean, he's cool. They're all cool. These are cool cats. Oh. Okay, let's go back to the front. I didn't even start at the front. I don't always start at the front of a book. Anybody else like that? Did I get the only ones with sunglasses? We need more cats with sunglasses. Oh, there's a couple. Oh. Yes, please. I wish this was a digital. I would buy it in a heartbeat and print it and make even more of these. Okay, we've got our cat couples. They're going on a double date. They're so fabulous. Let's just cut one out real quick here. And then we will cut out our background too. I'm going to make one with you here on camera, and then I will come back and show you in another video how all of them turned out. We're going to make this cool cat first. He's not my favorite because how could you pick a favorite? They're all fabulous. Let's check on this background over here. It's coming along. It's drying nicely and working its magic. Love it. One of the things I'm really wanting to do is kind of go in with a micron and outline it, but the thing is the paint is already kind of outlining itself. See how the pink is taking to the edge, and here the orange with the green, it kind of is doing the work itself, except for on this side. On this side, I think coming in with a micron pen, this is a number 8, which means it's nice and wide tip. We can just kind of, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I just want to kind of add interest to this side by outlining some of these pieces. Doesn't have to be all of them. You don't have to do this if you don't like it. It's just something I want to do. You know what these remind me of? These blobs, which is more of what I got over here. These remind me of like rock formations. You know, especially like that one that I just outlined. And some of this is still a little wet. See, and our lines don't have to connect. It could be totally random. All right, that's about all I want to do on there. I mean, I think this is just so cool. I don't need to do a lot. Let's size up our little guy here and get him a background going. We can definitely get 4 cards from this. Now remember, you can always make journaling cards for journals, greeting cards for friends, whatever you want. You can make clusters and toppers for your journals. This can be anything you want it to be. The main thing that we're doing here is experimenting with these new paints and fun images. Okay, so this paper, I'm going to cut down. I'm going to cut it down to 6, which is going to, because this paper is 9 by 12, this is going to basically cut apart the 2 experiments that we had. This was the one with the true colors, this was the mishmash, and I'm going to put the mishmash to the side. I'm going to work, this is still wet, so now when I cut this with my trimmer, I dragged paint, and that's why we've got these lines, but I love it. I am going to clean off my trimmer though, the edge that caught the paint. And now I'm going to cut this to 4. And I'll be able to get a couple of those with a scrappy bit of fun there. Okay, easy, so easy. Let's come in with Mr. Let's put him off to the edge. And actually, we can extend him past the edge of this. I'm working with 5 by 7 card, but this is a 4 by 6 background. So now what I want to do is I want to play up one of these colors, and I think I want to play up the orange, especially because we have Mr. Tabby here. So I'm going to grab a similar color from Spiced Marmalade, from my inks, Dried Marigold. Yeah, I think we might use Dried Marigold. And just do a little bit of ink blending here around these white edges. And it's interesting to have this orange when there's so much purple. And then I'm going to grab and of course I can bring in as much or as little of this Dried Marigold as I want. But I'm going to grab some patterned paper, I believe, to go back here too. Now I know I might not see that edge, but I'm going to go ahead and ink it just the same in case I change my mind. I don't really need to keep dipping it in ink. I have the ink right here. Okay. Fun. It's very electric. I like it. I like it a lot. The 80s were very electric, right? I'm just going to hit a little bit of that white with it too. I don't want to go over my watercolor too much, but just knocking back some of that white there. And I think what I will do is something kind of bold, and I think I might outline the cat. We're just having fun here. This is an 80s situation. And so I'm using this Arteza acrylic marker. And I don't know how much of this is going to show up. Not very much, but I'm just giving him a little bit of a yellow outline. These aren't necessarily my favorite acrylic markers, they're just my only acrylic markers, in case y'all are wondering. I'm not like recommending that you go buy these. I'm not recommending that you don't, I'm just not recommending that you do. I would like to try the new Sharpie ones. Sharpie has some new markers out. I'm going to go in. What I do like about this is I'm getting a bit of transparency. I'm not losing my image when I go over it. So that is cool. Whereas usually with a marker like this, an acrylic marker, they're opaque typically, but this one's pretty transparent. So I'm actually able to see the image. Now look, he's glowing. Okay, clean up my mat. I'm going to get out a card base. And we're about to wrap up this session. Okay, oh yes. Let me get a card base out. And next, I think I'm going to pull out that pink in his tie with the next part of this background. So here is our card base. It is a 5x7. Right now it's 7x10. We're going to score it 5 and fold. I don't have any 80s specific paper. That would be something I consider a hole in my collection. But I have paper. Lots and lots of it. This is a wild choice, but I have to wrap up what I'm doing. I kind of really like this butterfly paper. I know, it's wild, but I think it's kind of perfect for Mr. Man. Okay, we're gonna go with it. So I'm gonna cut this down to 6 5/8. Okay, and 4 5/8. We can get a couple of these as well. And some lovely scraps. Love that. Now, I don't know what sentiment. I mean, there are just so many, but I think I will grab my snarky cats and see if there's something there. There's always something there with the snarky cats. What I really want to put is like, be cool, stay in school. And I might actually do that. I might end it here when I have my card together and then make my own sentiment on the computer and come back and add it later. Again, I'll do another video where I just show you my finished cat cards, but at least this is more of a play session than a let's make 4 cards session. And oh my gosh, it's been a lot of fun. I am going to come back right now at the end of when I get this put together. And I do want him hanging off just the edge there. The yellow was such a good choice. I don't know if you can tell how amazing that is, but it is good. He is glowing. But let me show you the swatches now that they're mostly dry. The swatch card that we made in the beginning. So you can see it in all of its gradation glory. My friend Rhonda, hey Rhonda, these are amazing. You may like these. She has sent me, you know, granulating watercolors before. We talk watercolors, and so I think that she would like these too. Oh my gosh, I love him. Okay, here is the swatch card. It's not fully dry, but look, it is hard for me, honestly, the camera can't capture the beauty of these watercolors. I don't think it is going to be able to give you everything that these watercolors are giving. This one, all of them are just magic in a pan, a little pan of magic. So there they are, our fun watercolors, our super fun cats. And we already have a card. Yeah. Be cool, stay in school. Yeah. I think that might be what this guy is saying. Absolutely love it. I will be back. I will share with you how these cool cats turn out on their cards. I hope you enjoyed this session with me. I had a whole bunch of fun playing. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for sharing your time with me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.